Podcast City Network.
And we are back here on Final Score with Chris and Craig, and we have some Major League Baseball news to get to. A lot of craziness happened now that we are finally into the season a little bit. A lot of craziness going on, including a Bryce Harper return to D.C.
Yeah, it was great. Oh, I loved it. Did you get a chance to watch that game?
I sadly did not.
Tuesday
I had to
night?
work.
It was good.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. A lot of people were worried about Bryce Harper coming out the gate because he wasn't looking the best, but now he made the return to actually playing in DC, and came in with the Phillies, went 3 for 5, had a run, ended up having a home run, 3 RBIs, 2 strikeouts though, but things happen. So Philly ended up going on to win that game 8-2.
So the best thing about this game, so I watched the game in its entirety. So he came. There's a lot of questions in the beginning of the game, like what's he going to be received, and is he going to get a lot of boos? He was expecting boos. So his first at bat, and he's going up against Scherzer, mind you, Max Scherzer,
yes.
great
pitcher. Yeah,
and the first time he's up at the plate, he swings and misses on a breaking ball, and the crowd goes nuts. The Washington Twitter account posted they tweeted out, "Thank you, next."
Nice.
And they tweeted out some other funny stuff, which is kind of really interesting. But so he struck out his first 2 times up against Scherzer.
Mm-hmm.
The third time he comes up, and he ends up hitting a double, I believe. And then he was actually 1 triple shy of hitting the cycle.
Oh wow!
Even though he had 2 strikeouts. He had a single, double, hit a home run. He was 1 triple shy of a cycle. So I mean, he played really well outside of, but those two strikeouts he had against Scherzer, that's just Scherzer. That was nasty. I mean,
it really was.
Yeah, those were nasty pitches that he struck out on. But he's been playing actually pretty well. He had a first series against Atlanta was pretty rough. He wasn't batting very well. He had 9 plate appearances and he only had, 3 hits, 3 for 9. That's not great, but
not awful.
It's not awful. He had 2 home runs in that series. His first game was pretty bad though. He went 0 for 3. But he's picked it up. He's played pretty well. He had a stretch of 3 games in a row where he hit a home run. But he's batting .400 this year in 7 games. He's got 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. He's been walked 8 times this season already, but he struck out 9. So I mean, he's not doing too bad.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad. That, and you're looking at the Phillies as a whole, and they're sitting third in a run differential, so they're obviously being able to make some magic happen, and they're sitting tied for first in the NL East. So definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, and we were texting about this throughout the week, and the Phillies, I had no idea that this was true, and the Phillies started 4-0 for the first time since it was like 1912 or some crazy stat like that.
Hard to start 4-0?
Yeah, they had never started 4-0 until that point. So they got off to a really, really good start.
Oh yeah, they're 6-2 currently, so they're definitely not doing too bad. So making some magic happen along the way. But looking at this now that we are about 8-10 games into the season, what are your biggest surprises so far? Good or bad?
Good or bad. Both of mine are good in a good way. So we know the bad stories being the Red Sox, the Cubs, things like that. But the big stories for me, I think it's more of a surprise of the Mariners getting off to an 8-2 start. The Mariners, I mean, most of their games are against under 500 teams at this point, but they're 5-1 at home, 3-1 on the road. and they're playing really well. I mean, they're averaging 7 runs scored each game. So they have a run differential of 2, which isn't bad. I mean, they're winning in some close games, but they're playing very, very well out the gate. I don't think that'll be able to be maintained, but a couple of wins early in the year when they're playing in Tokyo definitely helps.
Oh, it definitely does.
The Tigers are kind of an honorable mention for me a little bit because, personally, Tigers fan. But they're sitting at 6-3, and they're tied atop the Central Division with the Minnesota Twins, who are 5-2. I was kind of surprised. I figured they'd be down like where the White Sox are at like 3-4, maybe like a 2-5 like the Royals, but they're playing really well. Their first couple games here, they're winning a lot of close games. So
that's the important thing.
They actually have a negative 0.1 run differential. So I mean, they're winning games that they may or may not are supposed to be winning. Mm-hmm. But two of their games that they've won have been in extra innings. They're 2-0 at home, so they started off pretty well there.
Yeah, not too bad.
But they're not doing too bad. I don't think this is going to be sustainable, but this we talked about in our preview show last week. This division, I think, is so weak from a talent standpoint that the Tigers could have a chance to get up there and contend for the division.
Definitely could, especially seeing how Cleveland seems kind of middle of the pack right now. But looking at my surprises here, oh my goodness, the thing that kills me is looking at some of these teams that really have fallen out of the gate. The Cubs have fallen off considerably. The Cubs are 2-6 right now. Not really playing that great. Have a run differential of -7, and literally only got win 2 was their last game that they played. So they were 1-6 at one point.
Yikes!
Yeah, it's kind of painful when you look at it that way. A big surprise though is the New York Mets sitting 6-2, tied with the Phillies atop of the NL East. But again, this is the Mets.
Shouldn't be. I mean, if you remember back last week to our preview show, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not either. But the thing is that I feel surprised because I felt like after finally getting Jake DeGrom signed, all this kind of stuff, and a lot of stuff that going on, that they were kind of not really going to start out this strong. So, but the one thing I look at with the NL East, it's kind of a look of, is it that they're this strong, or is it the other team's just this weak right now? A lot of things could flip in 100+ game season. So, but to round out my biggest surprises, and this one hurts me. Is that the Boston Red Sox are literally in the cellar of the AL East behind the Rays, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Blue Jays. We are sitting not only last place in the AL East at 2-8, we have the worst run differential at -27, and we also have allowed the most runs this season with a mark of 72. 72 runs in less than in just 10 games. That's bad.
Ouch.
That's a 7.2 run a game allowed average.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, definitely not good. So
it doesn't help when Chris Sale in the opening day game has an ERA of like 20. I think it was 23, 22.
It's horrible.
It was bad.
And even then, you're looking at his ERA now. He's only he's pitched 9 innings. He's played in 2 games. ERA of 8.
Oh, that's a lot better because, like I said, after the first game, he was in the 20s.
I know, but when you start looking down at some of these other pitchers, we have like David Price, ERA 6, Nathan Eovaldi 8.1, like Chris Sale 8, Eduardo Rodriguez 12.3. I don't know what's happening with our pitching. Our pitching seemingly has gone out the window completely. So you look at even Rick Porcello, he's rocking a 13.5.
Ooh,
that's horrible. That is utterly horrible. But the only 2 players who have played more than 10 innings or more are David Price and Nathan Eovaldi, and both of them have an ERA over 5. So with that, you can't expect to win games that way. You really can't. And David Price, it's notable he does have 13 strikeouts right now, and that is nice. But dude, you have an ERA of 6 in 12 innings. That's a run every 2 innings, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's not good.
You're David Price. Get back to playing baseball. It's just ridiculous. And what scares me about it is that if they don't start righting the ship, I've noticed with the Red Sox that if they start out really poorly, it will carry on almost to the All-Star break. They'll kind of start getting some wins. They'll be kind of very middle of the road, but this is never a good way to start for the Red Sox. They usually start this way. It doesn't end well.
So you think it's time to panic in Boston? It's ties for their worst start in franchise history.
Yes,
2-8.
Yeah, 2-8 does tie our worst start in franchise history. Pitching has been a huge issue for us. We do still have bats there, and that's the thing I don't understand is that we still have the bats there, but we can't get the pitching going because we've scored 45 runs this season. We're still not doing too bad in that department, and we have we're only second in the AL East in runs scored, only behind the Yankees who have 49. But we just can't get the pitching right, and that's what's killing us. And we were known for our bullpen last season, and that's what really kills me through this whole process. So the thing I look at now, we're only 10 games in. We're looking at an extremely long season.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens after another 40 games and see where we're at come then. But as of right now, my anxiety's starting to spike a little.
It's starting to spike already. 10 games in, huh?
10 games in, I'm already spiking with my anxiety.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not a good start. Not a good start for them. But they can right the ship. They're good. I mean, just a couple days ago on Friday, they gave up 15 runs. They lost in a walk-off yesterday.
Yeah.
But they got another chance. They're in the middle of a game right now against the Diamondbacks. So
yeah,
they're finishing off their series with that here, and then they can get back home and they'll right the ship. They have enough talent on that team. They'll right it. But
especially with the AL MVP Mookie Betts being on their roster, I don't see them staying down for too long. But at the end of the day, it all comes back to pitching. They have to get that pitching right.
And you're playing in that division. You still got the Orioles and the Blue Jays in that division, so you guys will be fine. You guys will be fine.
Well, the Blue Jays are only 3-8, so they only have one more win than us, or we'd probably be sitting in the 4th spot. So I guess it's not too bad. And like I said, it is very, very early in the season, so we'll see what happens.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. But there is something we do need to talk about. Something that, you know what? It actually makes a perfect spot for our new segment, Love It or Hate It.
Ooh, another edition of Love It or Hate It already.
Look at that. Already another edition of Love It or Hate It. But this is something I'm going to sound off about. So go ahead. Ask me, Craig. Ask me.
Ask you. So this is an interesting little tidbit here. So per ESPN, Stephen A. Smith is set to become the highest paid personality in the company's history, making anywhere between $8 to $10 million. Love it or hate it?
I absolutely detest this. And let me tell you why.
Pulling out the vocabulary.
Pulling out my extensive vocabulary and diction because Stephen A. Smith is about to get both barrels of what I have to offer. So what I look at with this, Stephen A. Smith, let's take us back a little bit more. ESPN has become such a politically charged sports network to the point where they're more worried about the looks and the politics of something rather than they are the reality and the stats. And that kills me inside. I'm a stats guy. I love my stats. I play so much fantasy football, it's not even funny. And to test that, 10 leagues in 1 year. So just saying that.
Jesus, man.
And that was down from the year before where I had 12. So just to show, I love my stats.
Oh, my God.
I love them. Love my numbers.
I've had 4 in a year and thought that was too much.
Well, I'm sure my wife would be a lot happier with you than she is with me when it comes to fantasy football.
Jeez.
So, looking at it as a whole, though, ESPN is all about the politics now. It's all about pushing political agenda. And who are they using as their figurehead for this agenda? Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith has always been the first to want to chime in, whether wanted to or not, on any given thing that pops up, whether it be something in the NBA with LeBron and Big Baller Brand and all the stuff going on with that, or if it's something in the NBA or in the NFL, with somebody getting paid a certain way, or the Le'Veon Bell saga. It's always something that Stephen A. Smith has to feel that he has to jump out and talk about, whether it's complete opinion or based anywhere in reality. 9 times out of 10, it is not based in reality. And that's the thing that kills me, is that ESPN would allow someone like this to be able to spout off about anything, saying anything he wants, and then say, hey, even though about 4 or 5 years ago, we ended up unloading all these sideline reporters, all these writers, all these people to give you a pay raise. Because he ended up at that point getting a raise that got him to where he is now, making $5 million a year. I thought that was one of the most disgusting moves by ESPN that I had ever seen. You let go really great reporters and really great writers just for this one guy who, honestly, I feel like doesn't really contribute. He's an opinion piece. He's all about being about himself and his popularity. To the point to where he is so unapologetic about all this that he released this. Quote, "Those who are great get more than those who are not. Let me be unapologetic in what I'm about to say. Everybody at ESPN or in the world of sports media does not deserve to be paid what I get paid. I don't believe it. I just don't, and I'll never apologize for it. I didn't bust my tail all of these years for somebody to come along late and say, damn it, it's about fairness. We think they should get paid as much as you. What? You don't generate the revenue I generate. You don't generate the ratings I generate. You ain't as popular as me. You don't resonate as much as me. You don't deserve as much as I get." End quote. That is disgusting to me. He thinks of himself so highly that it doesn't matter what you're involved in. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you feel. I get paid because I feel like I need to. You know what? I feel like I deserve $1 million. Where's my million? I don't see my millions anywhere, and I feel I bring a whole bunch to the table. But that's not how society works. Just because you say that doesn't make it true. And that's what kills me about this. To the point where ESPN now is going to turn around and basically double his salary from the $5 million he's making a year to an $8 to $10 million salary. That is ridiculous to me for one talent that does nothing but does what we do: sit behind a microphone and spout off opinion. Now, us, at least we have facts that back what we talk about most of the time. I know I go off on my tangent, sure, but I'm not Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith goes from pure emotion and pure feeling of opinion, whether it's right or not, and he will stick by those guns regardless. End rant.
End rant. Surprised you didn't drop your mic there.
Well, these things are expensive, and I don't have the money Stephen A. Smith has, so,
Right.
I got to take care of my equipment.
Thinking about this, basically, I was on the love it side of this until you read me that before we went on air. I'm not one that I want to basically piss all over a guy's parade because he has busted his ass his whole career.
Well, I'm not saying he hasn't.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to piss all over the guy's career because of that. He definitely deserved it for that reason. But I feel like in the last few years, he has become more of a character versus what he's been known to do, which he's done a lot of great work over the years. And he has done a lot of great. He still continues to do some work from the reporting, like as far as he still has a lot of great connection, does a lot of good, like a lot of great pieces, but it seems like he's doing it more as a character nowadays than he used to be. Now it's all about I can yell my opinion louder than you, so that's how I'm going to win my debate. Because ESPN's all about the debate shows now.
Oh yes,
they've been about debate
Very
shows
heavy.
for the last few years. But I mean, they had guys that they got rid of, like Jason Whitlock, Colin Cowherd. Skip Bayless is another big one.
Oh yeah.
Skip Bayless and Stephen A are pretty much the same person.
Pretty much.
From that respect, where what they do is they do have some facts, but they distort their facts a little bit to whatever they want, whatever their agenda is going to be. And they yell about it and they throw out these things. My favorite example.
Very animated.
They're very animated. So my favorite example of how Stephen A has been used by ESPN. My favorite example from him was, I will never forget, he was on a panel for First Take talking about NFL. It was him, Brewski, and I think Kellerman.
Yes.
And he was talking about the Chargers. And he listed off players that weren't on the roster, players that were injured. He was just saying, watch out for the Chargers because of these guys. And Brewski's face on live TV was like, what? Like, his face was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know what you're saying. That's, to me, what the epitome of what Stephen A is now.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, no disrespect to what he's done leading up to now, but I agree where ESPN They're very politically charged now, and that's what they care about is they just want, he brings in great ratings because people are going to go, oh my God, what kind of crazy shit is he going to say now? Like, because that's what he's all about.
That's exactly what he's about.
He's always been like a huge influence in the basketball realm because that's what he's known. That's what he's come up with. That's what he's done. That's what people know him for. But when he gets into other areas that he doesn't know anything about, he sounds like a tool and he sounds like an idiot.
A complete tool.
And so I'm with you. I love it because he's earned the big pay raise that he's gotten. But I hate it for the reasons why ESPN's pushing him to that because they love the shock. Basically, it's like shock comics.
It really is.
It's all shock sports nowadays.
And
that's the reason why I hate it, especially with that quote. That is one of the most snotty quotes I've ever heard by anyone, period, in life. I mean, we all have egos, and we all think of ourselves probably a little bit more highly than we actually are. It's human nature. But when you go out and spot off some crap like that.
Oh, yes. And just to give clarification on this quote, this is from Stephen A. Smith to Bob Lay at a Seton Hall event on Smith being paid what he makes. So that was him in response to somebody asking him about it. And that's what's crazy to me is that you want to just spout off at somebody like that at an event in public, mind you. It's just disgusting. You know what? You did say something that I did find interesting. It is more that he's a character now. You know where they also have characters? WWE. Go be a character there, bro.
Oh, he'd be great for them.
Oh, he would. Let him be a color commentator there.
Let him be the
love
next Mean Gene.
Oh, God, I actually would like him in that role. I'm not even going to lie.
Wouldn't you?
I would, because he fits it so well.
He does. He fits it so well. Stephen A., if anyone ever pushes this your way so you can just come back at us, please do us a favor, and it would be very enjoyable. I think you'd enjoy it too. Go be the next Mean Gene for the WWE. I think it would be amazing.
Oh, yes. And if you don't, and you end up finding this piece and crapping all over it, just remember it's final score, one word, F and S capitalized. Thank you.
Oh, my God.
But you know what? We're going to move on to another segment we love so much that hold here dear to our hearts, and that's good old Give or Go.
Good old Give or Go.
That's right. We're going to come back here with another Give or Go segment. It's going to be a fun one because a little short, but there's some interesting tidbits in it.
Yeah, just a reminder, too, if you're not familiar with the Give or Go segment, it's basically rapid fire questions. We each will say whether we want to, it's not worth our time, let's just pass on to the next one. So we'll go on it, or we're going to give, which means we want to give a couple minutes talking about it.
Absolutely. So we're going to kick it right off the bat. Duke is looking into, quote unquote, claims that Nike paid Zion Williamson's mother for consulting services while her son was a top high school recruit. Give or go?
Go, because of the fact, it's really ironic that all this news has come out after the fact that Duke is now out of the tournament. If they were still in, this would have happened after they lose anyway. Duke's going to get hit with some sanctions. They're going to have to vacate all the wins from this year for Zion. He's still going to go on to make a ton of money in his shoe contract he's about to make. That's basically it. Nothing really there for me. Conor McGregor, your favorite. This is your boy. Yeah. Your boy Conor McGregor seemingly unretires after a Twitter exchange with Khabib. Give or go?
You know what's so funny? Conor McGregor's about as much as my boy as someone I would say, hey, go walk over there into traffic. So at the end of the day, Conor McGregor, I just saw this coming. So I'm going to go on this because we already knew this was going to be a load of crap. You don't go promoting a fight on TV and then the same day make a Twitter post saying you're going to retire. And then on Twitter, get into barbs with Khabib. And next thing you know, you're now unretired. Who called this? That's right. No more time spent on this. Ohio State's co-defensive coordinator Greg Madison referred to Michigan as, quote, the team up north, end quote, in a press conference on Friday. Give or go?
Oh, I got to give on this. Boy, you want to get my blood boiling fast?
Of course you are.
Greg Madison, are you kidding me, dude? Like, first of all, I'm all for coaches going to get better jobs, getting paid better, whatever the case is going to be. I am all for it. I'm all for you going to get a better job, get paid better. But never, ever, ever in your lifetime do you ever jump from one team to their most hated rival.
The most hated rival.
The most hated rival in the biggest rivalry in sports. Stop. You don't jump from one side of the fence to the other and expect some sort of repercussion. Like, you don't refer to that school in Columbus. You don't go there. Like, why? I just hope that his great coaching and his play calling that he's had for Michigan over the last couple of years shows up when Michigan plays that school in Columbus this year, and we end up taking it to them and beating them by 25 points.
Ooh, bold claim.
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but hey, I mean, when you got Gaddis coming in and being your offensive coordinator, and I mean, spring game is next week. I'm excited for it, but I mean,
we'll see.
Madison, come on, man. That should be on a come on, man kind of thing. Like, you don't do that stuff.
Hey, that might be a new segment.
They already got that at ESPN. I don't want to get in trouble with
them.
Yeah,
we don't need any.
We don't want to get in
lawsuits.
trouble with them.
We're not that big. We haven't gotten our money, like Stephen A. Smith yet. So.
Oh man, some of the players were getting all over him too on Twitter.
I bet.
Great. It was great. But anyway, last one. Bret Hart is tackled by a quote fan at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony last night. Give or go.
I'm actually going to give on this because I feel this is giving way to a larger issue that is happening across all sports. Now, if you did not catch the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony for the year 2019, definitely make sure that you try and give it a look. It was a very great ceremony up until a quote-unquote fan rushed the stage where Bret Hart and Natalya were giving a heartfelt speech while the Hart Foundation was being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He seemingly had tackled the Hall of Famer, took him to the ground. In some reports, apparently got a punch in on the Hall of Famer before Ronda Rousey's amazing. Well, I want to marry the guy now. Her amazing husband, former UFC fighter, came in and ripped this guy off of Hart and literally started laying in a couple strikes of his own. Definitely not a good idea to piss off a former UFC champion.
It's the last guy you want.
Last guy you want. Because even after that, though, now you have all the WWE roster that is literally rushing this stage to tear you off. Probably one of the most loved people in WWE history. So I feel it was also very apparent as they're walking him out that Dash Wilder of the Revival comes up and threw a nice little haymaker right into the guy's face. Loved that one, as did the crowd. So it's very crazy that this is happening, but I feel it is a part of a larger issue that has been happening by brazen fans, where you have fans at NBA games that are uttering racial slurs at players and calling out players, where you end up with verbal exchanges between player and fans. We can even go back as far, specific with the NBA since we're on it, all the way back. You already know what I'm talking about. You already know Detroit, Indiana, Malice at the Palace, where a drink came flying in onto an Indiana player.
Ron Artest.
Ron Artest. That was the name I was looking for. Hit Ron Artest. Ron Artest goes out in the crowds. The next thing you know, we got fist fights in the stands.
Ron Artest and Jermaine O'Neal throwing fists with fans in Detroit.
Yeah, that was one of the craziest things, but it just shows how these things always kind of keep popping up. Now, in WWE, it happens probably a little bit more than in some other events, except maybe European soccer, where you have guys that, want to strip down naked and streak across the field. But
that's all they do usually.
Well,
other than throw racial slurs at players, which happened. Did you see that?
I did. Where players,
man. They were talking about that on High Noon.
Oh, I know.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, and that's something we'll definitely have to talk about on a future episode, because that's just a systemic issue they have in European soccer as a whole. But getting back to WWE, with WWE, you always have the random fan that wants to come in and join in. It's WWE. People do know that it is choreographed to a certain extent.
Wait, it's fake?
Don't you dare say the word fake.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's choreographed?
Yes. It's not
rehearsed?
fake. It's rehearsed.
It's real to me, damn it.
Is it still real to you?
No.
Do you want to cry some tears?
I might.
Okay, I'll get you some handkerchiefs later.
I got my own tinfoil hat about this too, actually.
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. But the thing with WWE is you always have the fans that want to kind of run in because they know how it's set up and they feel like, oh, I can just run in there and do whatever. Don't. These guys will screw you up horribly. And many got their shots in on this guy. But the one thing I also look at is, where's security in every one of these instances that happen? Where are they? Because I find it funny as I'm watching this minute, 2 minute, 3 minute video, I never saw one piece of security show up until NYPD came strolling down the outer bowl after they had already dragged this guy out of the ring, dragged him halfway past the first rows of seats to give him to NYPD. Which by the point when they actually gave him to NYPD, he was already pretty much unconscious because Dash Wilder had knocked him out. But again, I digress. So looking at this, what are your takes on this?
So having watched this video also, I'm with you. Where was the security?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where in the world is security here? But one of the really interesting things that I found watching this video, the guy that was the perpetrator in this case, ran into the ring and was wearing one of those Rastafari hats.
Oh yeah, with the dreadlocks.
But it's got the dreadlocks attached
black,
to it.
green, red, yellow.
That's usually a prop, like a hat.
Hmm.
So are you telling me that this fan randomly just had this hat so he could try to conceal his face?
And made it all the way by security?
Made it all the way by security with no problem whatsoever?
Hmm.
I'm just saying it would not be beneath Vince to do something like this and just be like, hey, make this look real. Nobody else knows about it but you and Brett, go do it. How much you want to bet this ends up being a shoot somewhere or work somehow?
Well, if it does, I hope that guy got paid handsomely because he got screwed up getting pulled out of that ring.
What if they pulled punches? Like, what if they made it look good?
I mean, they are professional wrestlers. It's what they do.
That's what they do. You got to make it look good.
All right. Well, if
that's
you
me
want
putting on my tinfoil hat. Like, how Vince move would this be? This would be a Vince move.
Well, to draw into the Chris Carnage side of my life and to pull into the wrestling of this, I would not put it past Vince whatsoever, given that there are a lot of stories circulating that he had Roman Reigns not necessarily fake him getting leukemia back.
I mean,
that's a big story.
When he steps away because he says his leukemia has returned, but while he's away, he's filming movies, doing his own stunts. I mean,
and is back in less than 6 months.
You can't. Anyone who's fought leukemia could tell you don't just recover like that.
No,
even
you don't.
Even if you're a superior human being, where a lot of athletes, superior athletes, they can recover from injuries, things like that quicker. You can't recover from cancer that quickly. No,
cancer is cancer. It's not a cold. It's not a leg break. It's cancer. So. That'd definitely be interesting, and obviously we've seen all the kind of crazy stuff Vince has pulled off over the years. Anyways,
I wouldn't put it past him.
So I wouldn't put it past him. But at this juncture, they are calling this a real event. The gentleman in question has appeared to have been somewhat disturbed, given social media postings. He's being charged with a whole list of different of charges, including 2 counts of assault, trespassing, all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely very interesting taking a look at that. But I'm sure we'll hear more about it later on. Which
we definitely look forward to hearing that. I'm sure within the next week or so they'll have something coming out for it.
Definitely. But with that though, this has been our Give or Go segment. So at this time though, we got to make the transition into the final thoughts that we have going on.
But wait, you're not getting off that easy.
Are you saying? But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. We're not done yet. I'm not done with you.
Oh.
So you remember like a couple weeks ago? Maybe a month ago, when we were talking about you were trying to pronounce some players' names in the NBA, and you just couldn't quite get it right. And I mentioned that there was going to be a quiz of some players.
I vaguely remember this.
Guess what? Pop quiz.
Oh no!
It's pop quiz time. This is the name that NBA player.
Oh man!
Playoff edition.
Oh, so NBA names playoff edition.
NBA names playoff edition. So you have not seen these names.
No, I have not.
I have given you a list of names in front of you.
I did not know this was happening.
I have given you a list of names, and
oh Jesus! Oh my gosh!
You will have to look at these names and try to correctly pronounce.
Oh man, there better be a scorecard.
I have 23 names that I gave you.
Oh Jesus! Okay, so.
I made the first one easy.
Well, the first one is easy because he is magic great. Nikola Vucevic. So
ooh, close.
See, I can't even get it. Can't even get it. Vucevic.
Yes, there you go.
There it
Vucevic.
Is. No,
it's Nikola
Vucevic.
Nope. Nikola Vucevic.
Well, I already see how this is going to go.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
I already see how this is going to go. All right, so the next one.
Number 2.
Pascal Siakam.
You got the first name right. Pascal Siakam.
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 That doesn't even look how it's said.
Pascal Siakam.
Pascal Siakam. So
That's number 2.
So what am I right now? 2 for 2?
You're 0 for 2.
0 for 2. Damn it. All right. So the next one. Ursan. Oh, wow. This is horrible. I'm ashamed of myself. I need to become more cultural. All right. Ursan Ilyasova.
Ooh, so close.
Oh, see, at least I'm getting close. Ursan.
Ilyasova.
Ilyasova. That was so off. Ursan
close.
Ilyasova. All right.
Ilyasova. 0 for 3. Number 4.
Nikola Mirotic. I do know this one. No, Mirotic.
Correct.
Yes.
Nikola, it's Mirotic, but I'll give it to you.
All right.
You're 1 for 4.
1 for 4.
Woo! Next one. Number 5.
Yante Matin.
Close. Yante Maton.
Maton. Long A.
Long A.
Long A.
Ooh, 1 for 5. Rough start.
Rough start.
All right, here we
Hopefully
go.
I get the comeback here. It's okay.
They only get harder from here, just saying.
I feel like I'm in the Red Sox right now.
Yep.
Is that an actual first name or is that initials?
That's a name. That's a name.
Og.
It's initials, but it's a name.
Oh, see, that's even worse.
So I'll give you a redo. Go ahead.
All right. Give me a redo on that one.
Yep.
All right. I don't even know what his first name is though. We're gonna say he's just gonna be OG to me. I think I'm gonna take this one on the chin. OG Ananobi.
Close. It is OG.
I got it right.
OG. Yeah, Ananobi. You got it right.
Hey, all right. Look at me go.
2 for 6.
2 for 6. I'm doing better than the Red Sox.
You're rolling.
All right, so the next one though.
You might get this one too.
Furkan Korkmaz.
Yes.
Yes. 3 for 6. The comeback is on.
It's Furkan, but close enough.
Close enough. It's
I'll
all
give it
good.
to you. I'll give it to you. 3 for 7.
Appreciate that because I'm probably going to butcher this next one.
Yep. Furkan Korkmaz. Oh, this one. Yeah, you're getting this one off.
Boban Marjanovic.
Close.
Marjanovic.
Very close. It's Boban Marjanovic.
Marjanovic.
You were so close.
Those J's.
So close.
Scandinavian
3
languages.
for 8.
All right. So this next one. Oh, I feel like I'm going to butcher this last name. I already see it. Gershon.
Correct.
Gershon. Oh my God, this is horrible. Yabusele.
Yes.
Yeah. Gershon Yabusele.
Yabusele.
Yeah. I love it. All right.
4 for 9.
This next one, though. Actually, I think I got this one. Okay. Bojan Bogdanovic.
Oh, you're so close.
Oh, see?
Bojan.
Like
Bojan Bogdanovic.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
4 for 10. You're
4 for 10.
40%.
40%. We got to come back. We got to hit at least halfway. 50%. Wow, this next one though. Domantas Sabonis. Long O.
Domantas Sabonis.
See, it's just the long letters I'm missing here.
Yeah.
Mostly. So we're getting there.
Not too bad. That was
Not
close.
too bad.
Close.
That's close. Because we did a closeness scale on this. I'm shooting like 90%.
Not really. You're still more at like 50 or
Let
60.
me feel good about myself, okay? All right, so next one though. This is going to be horrible. Nikola. Wow, I can't. It's 5 letters, and I feel like I can't even pronounce. I feel like I'm like a 3rd grader. No, worse. Kindergartner. Jokic. These J's.
Nikola Jokic.
Jokic. These J's. These silent J's. All right, so the next one. Skull. Labasere.
Close. Skal. Labisiere.
Oh, yes. I didn't get that one at all. All right. So looking at the next one. Yusuf Nurkic.
Well,
that's what I meant to say. I don't know why I went right to it.
I'll give you that one. That was close.
All right, Nurkic.
I'll give that. Nurkic. Yusuf Nurkic.
All right, so the next one. This one's going to be horrible. Naz Mitrolong.
Yes. Naz Mitru Long. So
yes.
you got 6 for 15.
Mitru long time. All right. So the next one, Thabo Cephalosha.
Tabo Cephalosha. Tabo Cephalosha. Ooh, so close.
So close yet so far away. All right. This guy's first name looks like Chimney. Shemezi Metu.
Shemezi Metu. Correct.
Hey, all right. See? All right.
7 for 17.
7 for 17.
Okay, you're getting there.
Getting the comeback going. Started out not so hot out the gate, but it's okay.
Pretty rough.
That was really rough. All right. So this next one. Oh, this is going to be bad. Oh, this is going to be real bad.
This is great. We should have a segment like this every week.
Oh, we should. Just testing me on names. Great. Next week we should do hockey. All right. So Rodions Kurix.
Close. Rodions Kuruks.
God, these long letters.
7 for 18.
7 for 18.
Woo! You got a couple more. You got 5 left. That's
all right.
It.
All right. 5 left. We got to make the comeback here. Got to make the comeback. Ivaka Zubak.
Nope. Ivica Zubats.
How do you Zubats out of an AC?
Oh, this is fantastic. This is all I ever wanted and more.
This is really bad. This is going to be bad.
Oh, just wait. The last 4 are the hardest.
Yeah, these last 4 are ridiculous. Fans, if you are still listening to me butcher these names.
The last 4 are the hardest.
I do apologize. I'm not the best at this. Diction aside. All right, so. Semi Ojale.
Shemi Ojile.
Oh, I was close-ish to the last name.
You're close.
Totally butchered the first.
7 for 20.
Thought it was going to be the other way around. This is horrible.
Shemi Ojile.
Shemi Ojile. Oh, my gosh. Donatus Matijunas.
Close. Donatus.
Oh, that sounds better.
Motiunas. So
I almost had the last name.
You're
Silent
close.
J. So Silent J's are getting me.
Yeah, you're getting there. So 7 of 21. You got 2 more left. These last 2 are doozies.
I'm shooting 33%.
These last 2 are doozies.
See?
These are the hardest.
Oh,
ones.
my gosh. Okay, so my last 2 for the NBA name quiz playoff edition.
Yep.
First one. Sviatoslav Miahulik.
You're so close.
Was I really?
It's Sviatoslav.
Okay, I was close.
Sviatoslav.
Sviatoslav.
Mikhailuk.
Mikhailuk. Oh, I was close there.
Sviatoslav Mikhailuk.
So close. All right, so
last one. You're one of your favorites.
One of my favorites
to butcher
on a regular basis. Giannis, I did get his first name finally
Giannis,
down.
You got the first name.
Got Giannis down. Atentatokumpo.
Adedokunbo.
Antetokounmpo.
Adedokunbo.
Antetokounmpo.
Oh my goodness. 7 of 23.
7 of 23. Woo! Ouch. Do not pick me up in your draft today.
Oh, that was great. There was a few names I left off the list too. I didn't want to get too crazy.
Oh, you would have hurt me bad.
Pretty good though.
Oh,
we got to do something like that again.
We definitely do. That was definitely good. But sadly, though, we got to move to the week ahead and seeing what we have in sports in the upcoming week before we sign off. A big thing tonight, WrestleMania 35. I am currently actually watching the pre-show off to the side. Having a nice the Cruiserweight title match currently with Buddy Murphy, your champion. So it's definitely going to be a great event. 17 matches on the card tonight. It's going to be crazy.
Insane.
But as we know with WrestleMania, when you go into Raw and SmackDown and later in the week, it's a whole new thing, new storylines, new wrestlers, all kinds of crazy. Oh, sorry, superstars. They can't say wrestlers anymore. So it's going to be really exciting. If you're into WWE, definitely check it out.
Yeah, the week of WrestleMania and the week after, usually that's where you see a lot of the big new appearances. You see a lot of big
the big acquisition show up like Goldberg one year.
Yep.
So
yeah, you got to get a lot of big ones. So that's a big one. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. NHL, NBA. NBA for those games. They got 2 games left in the season. I'm going to be watching a lot of those games over the next few nights.
And I'm sure you're going to be watching closely for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Did I get it right that time?
Antetokounmpo.
Oh, well, that sounds close enough. Anyways, so looking at the rest of the week ahead, something I'm really excited for, though, is that we have a lot of the college football pro days, but even more so the college football spring games. And that's a big thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, pro days are basically winding down. They're pretty much all over at this point.
Yeah, we're getting to that transition period now.
Yep. Spring games are big. I know Michigan's is April 13th. Do you know when Notre Dame's is?
I don't know. I got to look it up, but I got too much wrestling going on.
You got WrestleMania overload over here.
I do.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Michigan's spring game. I know Clemson just had theirs we talked about earlier. But a lot of the spring games coming up. It's really exciting. If you're a football fan, college basketball is basically over. If you don't care about hockey and basketball, spring is here.
That it is.
Right around the corner.
So I tell you what,
football.
It's going to be really exciting. But if you do want to catch the blue and gold game, it's going to be Saturday, April 13th.
Same day.
Same day at South Bend Stadium. Definitely go check them out. Love my Irish. Going to be Michigan again at some point.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't know. Remember what happened last time? Anyways, so... but it's definitely going to be exciting. Definitely catch your favorite college football teams, spring games. I'm sorry. Definitely see what they have coming out, because eventually I have a segment that I'm going to bring back and revitalize that I have not used in a number of years.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So definitely make sure you keep your ears to the ground for that one, which means take a look at our social media on Facebook at /PCN Final Score, on Twitter at PCN Final Score. And of course, you can listen to all of our latest episodes and download them on Podbean at pcnfinalscore.podbean.com. And you can also listen to all of our latest episodes on Spotify, on Google Play Music, and now on iTunes. Just go on to all 3, search keyword Final Score, give us a subscribe, and definitely check out all of your favorite episodes today. But this has been another episode of Final Score. Craig, thank you so much for joining us, even though you popped a quiz on me today.
It was great. We got to do something like that again. I think I might do NHL names in like another week or so.
It's like just as many Eastern Europeans in there as there is in the NBA. But we'll definitely see what happens. Hopefully I'll be more up to snuff and not go 7 for 23. But again, this has been Chris with Craig of Final Score. Definitely check out our next episode next week. But until then, have yourselves a great night and join us next time.
Podcast City Network.